whereas RAXXAZ does. But for tournament play so far, Tito is doing very well. So this is going to be definitely a difficult match. And I could see it once again go all the way best of 5.
Yeah, maybe another best of 5 for everyone right here. We've only had one today so far, but plenty more sets yet to come. I mean, Belgian fries are supposed to be served twice fried. 2-0. RAXXAZ knows exactly how that feels. Can he change his fortune against TITOGOFLETTE in the Summoners War European League playoffs round 2? Third versus fifth from that league as well. Say pre-bans, like you said, are we going to see an LD or an Eretion popping up?
Well, we have RAXXAZ not taking first turn, so that's most of the time where you don't have the first pick, you're banning that Eretion. And on the other side, we're mostly seeing ban on LDs. But Tito has a lot of the LDs that RAXXAZ has, so the only one that my point would go towards is the Jaeger, because Jaeger is one of the few units that Tito doesn't have, which RAXXAZ does have.
Let's find out. A lot of time spent on this one. They maybe weren't doing as much homework as we thought. So it's usually the easiest one to do a pre-ban at the start of your very first set right there. Or is it more mind games coming in to proper position? Pre-bans are in. Light Hwarang and a Jaeger. Pretty expected.
Yeah, well, the Hwarang is an interesting one because RAXXAZ does have a Hwarang himself, but we have seen Tito first pick that Hwarang. So preventing that is definitely an option. So big question right now, do we see an Eretion first pick or do we see a Burkle first pick? Because this is definitely a high contested match on those LDs.
Let's find out Eretion coming out. RAXXAZ in the previous match when he was faced with an Eretion was going with a Fire Megumi and a Shiho as well to try and counter in there, be a little bit annoying and still take that first turn. But like you said, maybe he's questioning if a Berghild is needed early.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you were going for the Shiho right now, I would have definitely seen Tito go towards the Berghild himself. So for that reason, more of a steal right there than anything. Plus, Tito is less likely of using the Shiho himself. So therefore, picking the Berghild makes a lot of sense.
And he's seen a quick response from Tito with that Escher as well as the Anavel. Anavel been doing great things today. Wants to get out some slows, obviously, over there as well on the side. Get some sustain as well. 2 forms of sustain even.
Yeah, a lot of sustain coming in right there. But then we also once again see RAXXAZ going towards that Aya. Very annoying unit if there are AoE hits on the field. And yes, there are a lot of them.
They are, but look at Tito. Again, some more kind of sustain coming through. It really feels like he's trying to bruiser it out.
Yeah, there's a lot of sustain. The main counter towards a Seimei most of the time is heal block, but we don't see any heal blocks on the side of RAXXAZ just yet.
Oh, monkey business coming back in. He's been in the shadows a little bit recently, say, but a Mei Huang can definitely deal out some damage against RAXXAZ's draft.
Yeah, I'm actually liking the Mei Huang. It's a unit I think it was sitting on like 44% win rate in the last season. Really not showing that much value. But here against everything, it might be very strong. It's just about the Layla. How many slows can she land?
Yeah, how many can she, if she's even going to get through as well? Fifth pick coming out from RAXXAZ right here. Is he going to go a little bit even crazier?
Yeah, there's a few options right here, but yeah, Diana is definitely one of those things I was thinking of as well. If you go for the Diana, it's most likely banned on this Mei Huang, but you have to keep in mind the dots on that Diana will be healing through the Seimei by a lot.
Let's find out. 28 versus a 33 speed lead for TITOGOFLETTE and RAXXAZ right here. It's our round 2 of the Summoners War European League playoffs, set number 1.
Yeah, let's see where the damage is going to come from, because both players actually have very much chip damage outside of this Nobara. The Nobara is full on a lot of damage, so let's see if that's the damage that's going to come through.
Let's find out going in. Wow, does get the stun and the stripping, allowing Layla to come in.
Layla coming in right there. Anavel, do you have something to say about it? Anavel does have something to say about it. We're just going to go for skill 1s. Interesting.
Yeah, skill 1s does not want to give Arya the turn with all of the debuffs, which potentially Anavel could kind of put on the side right there. Megumi does have that skill 2 option, but just going for a defense break.
Yeah, defense break, that's really rough for Tito right there, because on those defense break can do a lot of damage, but a lot of these Nobara skill 2s, which is RNG, went in through the only target that's still on immunity.
Exactly. He did technically get on the Anavel if there's a sleep potentially popping out a little bit later, but Berghild in the hands of RAXXAZ. Is it doing better?
It's doing a lot of damage right there, but if this Escher is taking 1 turn, this Seimei will 100% heal that HP. So if you take it out, it is nice, but I'm not sure if you're going to have enough time for that skill 2. You have to be looking at a pushback.
Oh, he does as well say he's going to be able to do it.
Yep, we're just simply taking over there, glancing, coming in on that moment. So the Aya's not really working, but the Burkle is doing a lot of work right here.
Yeah, she's just chipping away through it. Layla coming around again, just being annoying as well. You get another stun, get some anti-cleanse around as well. But this is where, I mean, it's just chip, chip, chip.
Yeah, it's a lot of Burkle chip damage, and that's the thing. Like, if he lands his defense break early, then you can get a good bit of damage in, especially if the slows are there, and simply with a Seimei, you're not getting your turns, it's not really helping.
Bring back a little bit of sustain, get the speed buff out there as well. You need to maybe get the pushback again.
Yeah, pushback half on the attack bar once again. Simply Burkle taking things out. So it's all of the match pretty much on Burkle.
Yeah, all on Burkle doing that damage. And we said it is a contested unit between these players. And, I mean, Annabelle trying her best, but I don't see a world where he can get rid of it.
Yeah, definitely not at this point, because sure, you can send your skill 3, but that's going to be a lot of damage coming in from this Nobara towards that Annabelle. Once again, Burkle, even though it's slowed, it's just chipping so much damage.
It really is right there. And I mean, an Eye is going to come in and take another 25% going through there, saying you can just clean it up, the Annabelle.
Yep, cleaning it up, and that is the first victory towards the side of RAXXAZ.
RAXXAZ taking a 1-0 set lead in this round 2 right here. Interestingly enough, from the stats say during the actual league phase, Berghild in the hand of RAXXAZ was on something like a 38% win rate and an 87% win rate on the side of Tito. Rax did his homework, picked it still early, but it worked.
Yeah, this time it definitely did work out very well, but it's also really on the odds of, like, do you get the pushbacks, do you get the branding, do you get the strips if you need it early on, do you get the defense break? If you land all of those, which the Burkle of RAXXAZ was doing very well last time around, then it's super, super strong. We have a ban out from that Burkle right now on the side of RAXXAZ. Is he going to be first picking that Hwoarang?
Yep, is he going to look to kind of steal again another unit that are contested between both of these players? Areshion is out of the pick, and he is. I mean, RAXXAZ has done his homework, say.
Yeah, it's definitely really highly contesting, but we see a Chandra on the side of Tito, which is potentially a little bit countering that Hwoarang because it will be potentially lowering that speed. But let's see if that's going to be working out right now.
Yeah, TITOGOFLETTE, he's been known to throw it back a couple of metas before. We've seen Velajules as well coming out, but okay, he's bringing content this time.
We're also bringing in the Shumar, so let's see if RAXXAZ does have answers against that. We have seen RAXXAZ play NFL before, which is a great answer against this, but I might see Tito also still go for units such as a Velajule on this.
Wow, okay. RAXXAZ bringing in that Water Twin Angels again as an option for his 24 speed lead going in there. Who is he going to look to partner it up with as well? And Annabelle brings his own sustain and gets those slows, but Velajule, good answer.
Yeah, Velajule, great answer right there, because there's not too many strips on the side of RAXXAZ just yet. It is also an option where you could simply go for a hay gang right now. You have the damage output and you have everything going on. The only thing is that your Shumar is going to be banned, so you have to go for a strong 5th pick right there.
Gianna coming in then, wants to get some sort of stuns and control on the side of RAXXAZ as well, but can RAXXAZ just eat that up with the current sustain from an Annabelle? 4th and 5th pick are important for him here.
Yeah, big question is if he wants to go for the anti-stun route, so Josephine. It is very heavy on the water right there, but you can still potentially pan out the 5th. And then the drafting as many waters doesn't really matter, but we're going to go back to a Jaeger.
Jaeger coming out, and wow, okay. The Beetle Guardian, potentially, or double Dragon Knights.
Double Dragon Knights, both of them are hard to be stunned. I think that the ban of RAXXAZ is looking a lot towards this Shumar right now. So let's see if Tito does have a good 5th, which the ban also has to land on. I could think about something along the lines of a Sonya, but does a Sonya actually kill something? No, we're going to go for an Icarus. Also kind of a snipe unit, but with a little bit more healing.
I mean, okay, say.
Ooh, I'm liking that. The combination with her plus Gianna gives you a lot of bombs and a lot of stun.
Holy, let's find out if you're going to get respected through right there, or as RAXXAZ say, you've cooked a little bit too hard with Shumar as well. Let's find out for those bans. Who do you think, sir?
I would aim the ban towards the Jaeger because that's probably the hardest to take out. Though we're actually going to go for a Chow, but the Shumar makes a lot of sense. But now the big question is the double LDs on the side of Tito. How strong are they?
Let's find out. Speed leads 24 for both RAXXAZ and TITOGOFLETTE in our set number 2 of the Summoners War European League playoff.
Gianna taking that first turn, so she has full immunity to work with on the critical arrow and does not really fully connect.
No, does not really connect right there. I mean, if you're those Twin Angels, you do have obviously strip and defense break, but maybe it's not the right turn for a Belladril coming or going for it.
Going for it. Interesting start to go for it right now, because taking that additional turn, I think you would have rather seen that on the NFL or the Hwarang right now. But Jaeger's not going to take any turns just yet.
I mean, is that Hwarang? They're not going to take a turn either. So look, you can look to get some immunity right there, but you also need some healing later on.
Yep, plus maybe you have already done enough damage to this Gianna where you can simply just take it out, but a little bit of chip healing will help. We're also gonna have the protection, but those protections aren't really working against the Hwarang and the Jaeger.
No, they're not, but I mean, just going in then again with that skill and trying to get the strip over there right now, but it looks like if Annabelle's got a skill too, it's back to reset.
Yep, we actually still live, so we have a little bit more going on right now, but you have to start controlling this NFL right now. So Brutal Order coming in once again on this Valajul, but can we actually... Ooh, we do manage to land it over there, but no skills available for this Gianna, so this NFL will take a very crucial turn.
Yeah, taking that turn, managing to cleanse through. I mean, resisted with a bomb as well for TITOGOFLETTE right there, but maybe it's RAXXAZ's turn to kind of switch this.
Yeah, let's see. Gianna definitely, if she takes an additional turn right now, she would get back in her skills, but she doesn't. So therefore, once again, Girl's Prayer setting everything back to 0.
Yeah, you can look to obviously hug right now. Maybe you need to get some slows out on the field as well. But there's a revenge coming in.
Yeah, those revenges are being really crucial. You can send the Sanctuary right now, but it's not really adding too much. But what does is this punishment, getting those defense break out once again.
Yeah, big defense breaks coming in. Some skills coming from that Illinois. Getting another cycle through. You need some more stuns.
Yeah, I think you just simply have to send the skill 3 for critical error. It's 75% chance. You do get it on the target that you were looking out for the most, which is the NFL. But is it going to be enough? Good damage on that Chandra right there. And we don't have skills on this Jaeger, so we cannot take anything out just yet.
Yeah, TITOGOFLETTE needs to get rid of this Jaeger quick time as well if you can get a cycle through right there. You've got some shields to put up against as well, though.
Yeah, but the shields are simply going to be stripped right there. Bomb... Would have rather seen the bomb on something else, so therefore is gonna simply go for skill 1. But this Chandra, can you take out this unit right now? And also, big question, skill 2. You have glancing and attack break, but it's still good damage.
Chipped out a little bit more, but this Jaeger's holding on for his life, but I think that's going to be it now. You can even look to go for a skill 3.
Yeah, skill 3 will definitely take it out from this point on, and yeah, that damage, simply this skill doesn't go through that defense right there, so you can send skill for a little bit of defense breaks, but it is not just enough. However, I can see a Hwarang do a lot of potential work in a later fight right here, because we have some slows on the enemy, plus no protection in the form of immunity.
Yeah, I mean, he can look to even hit on some of these defense breaks right here, but it looks like Valajul and Chandra showing why that meta was so strong a few years ago.
Yep. Plus the Eleanor is actually doing a lot of work with those attack breaks. Did not get that many stunts at that moment, but she's showing very strong. Are we going to go for the strip? No, we're not going to go for the strip. We're going to aim for more damage.
More damage, wants to try and get rid of that unit in Chandra right there. But I mean, Eleanor's got a little bit more healing, gets a turn across again to Valajul that can use that skill 2 or even a skill 3.
Yeah, skill 3 recycling a lot of those protections back and forth. Defense coming out once again, but we have to take care of this Hwarang very soon, because the Hwarang skill 2 goes through that defense. But this is also the moment. Do you want to send your bombs? Because you're going to lower your own buffs for a bit, but I think it is a necessity to do. We do connect the bomb. Critical error. Once again, connecting everything. Additional turn on this NFL, and is taken out by that bomb.
Yeah, just pure control coming in then right now from TITOGOFLETTE, managing to land the bombs when he needed to. And I mean, just kind of a slower play style right there that Rax couldn't quite deal with in the end.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see where we don't have Irresians, we don't have Megumis, all of those are not on the field, but we're going back to a Twin Angels and a Chandra for speed leads.
Yeah, throwing it back, we're going for the 24s as well, coming around. One apiece then between TITOGOFLETTE and RAXXAZ right there in this one. I mean, different playstyle, like we said. TITOGOFLETTE is known for kind of throwing it back a little bit to previous metas right there. Good picks as well, coming in with that Eleanor as well, kind of played dividends for him. Banned out the content of a Shumar, though. We still want that, right?
We definitely do still want a Shumar in there, but once again, we have the Hwarang and the Jaeger being banned out. So let's see if Tito does go for an Impression this time, or does he go for a Burkilt himself? Because that was the thing that was mostly, or right away stolen by RAXXAZ last time.
It was. How is he going to play around it? He's still going into that Eretion then, as well as his first pick. I think it is super strong enough to still warrant it to be picked, right? It
is, but you're definitely going to be playing against a Burkilt, and most likely Burkilt plus the Megumi, so 2 strong counters on that Eretion. But Rex is actually taking his time, could be going for something else.
Let's see how he's going to deal with it right here. Maybe a repeat of that very first set, which he did actually win in the end as well. Megumi coming in and an earlier Anivel.
Interesting early NFL right there, because that could be a Burkett on the side of Tito, but Tito's actually going to go for, well, I would say in last season, the most common meta comp out there, the Eresion Asher plus Solvark.
Yeah, he's gone back into that one right there. Maybe being touched a little bit by the balance patch, but how is RAXXAZ going to deal with that in the third and fourth? There's still a Berghild around if he wants it, but opting for his own high base speed with that Shiho and the Aya.
Yeah, RAXXAZ really liking that Aya. Has been picking it a fair bit. I think at least every other match he's been locking in an Aya, and it has been working for him thus far. But once again, we're going to be looking at this Seimei. There was actually a heal block, and the Aya skill 1 is a heal block, but it's one of those skills that is a little bit harder to land, because most of the time you're just focusing more on that skill too.
Yep, you are Seimei coming in. Josephine then as well coming in to try and get some form of shields up on the side of TITOGOFLETTE against really the only 2 stuns on the side of RAXXAZ at the moment. That 5th pick, maybe some more pushbacks.
Could be more pushbacks, but also could be back to that Layla. Layla worked out pretty well for just adding a lot of debuffs to the enemy team. Sure that the Seimei could heal up from those, but it worked out to get enough damage in. And RAXXAZ also does have a Shumar, but if you're locking in the Shumar right now, you have to ban out that Asher.
Yep, and he's gone for it. I mean, we're popping around a little bit with a bit of content, but let's see if he actually makes it through right here. Do you have to just respect it out?
I think the Nombara is most likely the most annoying thing for you to fight, but the Shumar is definitely one of those units that doesn't care as much about a Seimei as some of these other units might.
Let's figure out and see TITOGOFLETTE versus RAXXAZ. It's our 3rd set in this best of 5 in the playoffs for the Summoners War European League. Who can look to get that? Little heads up, Shumar, the content has been banned, but also the Ereshi on the speed lead has been taken out. So we've got an accuracy lead versus a 28 speed lead going into our set number 3 between TITOGOFLETTE and RAXXAZ.
Yeah, let's see. First turn belongs to the Shiho simply by having that speed lead. We can go right away for stunts, but Josephine has something to say about those stunts.
She does. She comes in. You can look to try and get a strip and a provoke going out and around at the moment. But where do you really want to land? Do you want to annoy the Megumi, or do you get rid of it off the monkey? Oh!
Ooh, resisted over there. So not getting rid of anything just yet. The stun will actually provide a bit of healing, but also the Megumi not landing his own skills right there.
Not landing. You can look to even bring in a little bit of sustain if you want. Maybe it's worth the strip even sending.
Yeah, so far I think he was expecting the skill 2 from this NFL coming in right there, but big question is how much can this Aya land right now?
Yeah, can you look to land, get some provokes coming there? I mean, only going on to Josephine, really.
Only going on to the Josephine, but Josephine is looking at the 3rd-turn provoke. She's not going to do anything else for quite a while but hitting this Aya.
Yes, unless you can kind of cycle through, possibly with some more stuns. I mean, there's so much protection coming up on the side, and there you go, it's gone.
Yep, there it's gone right away. Simple solution right there. But then the big question is, Aya damage, it is good, but if there's shields on the enemy side, then it's not going to do as much.
No, it's not. That's why maybe you focused in on the Escher right now, because that's the unit without it. But it's still going to be a long one.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a longer match right here. The Seimei is good for healing. It is on Violent in this case, so no Despair stuns potentially out there. But it's just simply healing so much, so it pretty much looks like the match just started.
It kind of does. Let's just put a reset on this one and find out how they're going to be able to deal with it, because, again, the damage that you need coming from RAXXAZ's side is from those debuffs, but you just don't put the debuffs on then.
Yeah, and that's, yeah, you can simply just choose for the Solvark to never use a skill 2 or a skill 3 and just really wait for defense breaks into Josephine. Josephine simply getting those additional turns. Once again, looking at a potential stun later on. So, also not landing these skill 1s. Double resist on that heal block.
Double resisted. I mean, this is grabbing popcorn moment.
Ooh, was trying to not land it on wrong element, but does land it on wrong element. So that's going to be 50% HP from this Nobara towards the enemy. However, the moment you get stuns in, Josephine will provide those shields time and time again.
Exactly, and those shields, look at that. It really does nothing for the units with the shields on right there. Maybe switching target now for RAXXAZ to that Josephine.
Oh, the big question is, you really do not want to land a stun from this monkey right now. If you land it, heal block is gone, and once again, shields are popping up. So you prefer not to land the stun? Does still land it.
Oh, when you don't want to land a stun and it still happens right there, and Josephine with some skill 1, some more damage coming in and around, and no sleeps.
No sleeps coming in. Do you want to send the S2? No, we're just going to go for some defense breaks. Also, yeah, simply the Aya's not doing all too much the moment that the Josephine shield is available.
I mean, right there, you've got a heal block for the first time. You've got a defense break as well. Maybe cycle.
Cycle. Ooh, no cycling happening just yet. And we also have skills available on this Asher. Not for taking out a unit just yet, but we can take it out on this skill too right now. But are you going to bet on it? Yes, we are going to go for it. Do we get anything on the Aya? We do not get anything on the Aya.
That's what you love to see if you TITOGOFLETTE right there. You've got a skill 3 finally, though. You can look to get rid of that Josephine as well. That's good to get rid of the shields.
Ooh, but the additional turn does not get any pushbacks right there, but we have a Massacre coming in and this Ashe is taking out units.
This is where you want to provoke a lot if you can. You do have those provokes coming in, but I mean, Seme on that field is going to be really hard to deal with.
Yeah, Semi on the field is definitely hard to deal with, but Solvark doesn't have any form of cleanses right now, so you want to start focusing on that Monkey right now, but the heal blocks that an Ashe can land or the defense break that a Solvark can land is going to do a lot of damage.
They are. If they land, though, say. These heal blocks have not been landing at all from the side of RAXXAZ. Resisted again.
Yeah, resisted once again. All or nothing. Also not landing right there. In this case, sending out the Massacre will take out this Nopara. Can you do it? Ooh, not that many crits, but 2k still enough damage right there to take it out.
Definitely is. And monkeys can do crazy things, but dealing with these 3 units right there, you're going to need some perfect cycling, say.
You need some perfect cycling, but also Massacre will simply strip the immunity and the invisibility. So you have to start working on this Ashe and nearly taking it out.
Yeah, nearly taking it out right there. I mean, it's going to come back to an all or nothing situation, but you don't have it right here. Can you stun?
Ooh, does get a stun, but this Massacre will simply take it out because of the threats that you had to hit this Solvark, which you actually did not really want to go for. But Seimei was also a great counter against the She-Hulk because of the immunity and invisibility only being 1 turn.
There you go, reversing it around then, TITOGOFLETTE, bringing it back from 1 set down to a 2-1 lead going into our set number 4 between RAXXAZ and TITOGOFLETTE. Pre-bans are instant this time around with an Erechion and a Gianna being taken away.
So this is actually the first time that all of the LDs that they share between both of them are available. So let's see if the Hwoarang and the Burgold are going to be heavy contested on that.
Yeah, like Hwoarang, first pick coming in from RAXXAZ straight away. TITOGOFLETTE in these situations does sometimes tend to go for a Chandra, even against it. But, I mean, is he going to follow through?
Yeah, let's see if he goes for the Chandra. We have seen, I think, him picking up a Shumar plus a Chandra earlier. So actually, we do also know that both players do have a Shumar rune, but we haven't seen neither of them because it was respected in both ways.
Respect the content right there. TITOGOFLETTE with the last few seconds to lock it in. He could look to confirm his place in round 3 if he wins here. Escher, is that going to get the job done?
Yeah, back to the Asher. So it does give all of the LDs available to RAXXAZ, but does not want to lock in and Burgold this early. We're going to go back to a double stun mechanic right there, but also countered by that Josephine.
Yeah, you see stuns out on the field. You bring your own counter towards it right there. Don't do it to say, Tito. Do not put that Gandalf out.
We actually haven't seen a single Gandalf just yet. I think we had 1 pick of a Gandalf, but it was banned out, and I really like to see that. Apparently, Gandalf in the current Special League is the most picked unit out there.
Damn, not in the Summoners War European League, though, because we were opting for a Misty with its own sort of damage then.
Yeah, Misty. It's one of those interesting things. Misty against a Hwoarang. Who's going to win that bruiser fight? It all depends on how many debuffs does the Misty land. But also the big question, are we going to go all the way towards the end where we have that 1v1 potentially coming in? It is a great counter against a potential Burgold coming in later.
Yeah, and if we will see that Burkhill right now or not, RAXXAZ seeing the Misty, bringing something with slows, and even a Gapsu as well.
Gapso is actually a very interesting unit into a Misty because Misty has multiple hits, so therefore multiple iterations of healing. Gapso will take 30 bar if a Misty heals 3 times by using just the skill 1. So Gapso is a very well placed unit right there, and actually quite a bit of an underrated unit. Plus I'm loving this NFL for the slows.
Yeah, there you go. RAXXAZ with a well-rounded draft right here. How can Tito look to respond in that 5th pick? Wow, okay, Devaraja wants to get some provokes going out and a bit more AoE.
I haven't seen that much of Devaraja just yet. Plus, sure, there's not that much immunity protection on the enemy side, but I'm not too sure if I really do like that unit right there. But it is respected.
Respected out alongside that Annabelle. So we've got a 24 versus a 28 speed lead going in to our set number 4 between TITOGOFLETTE and RAXXAZ. Could be the deciding set right here.
Yeah, let's see how much we can do, but I'm definitely liking the odds of that Gapso right there with the Huarang. But let's see, first of all, do we get some stuns? We do not connect any stun just yet.
No, we don't right there, so it can use it with Esche if you want to boost it up right now, but I mean, there's immunity on the other side, so even boosting up doesn't feel right.
I think he's just looking at a 2-turn provoke. Is that what he's aiming for? No, we're going to go for the 2-turn provoke on the other side, but we're going to see Gapso take a lot of pace in this match later on.
He will start picking up pace, but Megumi hanging up to get your own pushback and stuns. Does get it even on that Chandra right there.
Does get it wrong element right there, and there are no cleanses on the side of Tito. The side of that Josephine simply cleansing itself.
Yeah, she is cleansing, but slowly and surely, Huarang and Misty are going to start dealing good damage the longer it goes on.
Yep, do we get the defense break? No defense break from the Misty, because that's always the main thing you're looking at. All or nothing was very much nothing.
Nothing happening right there for the side of RAXXAZ, and you can look to get a bit more sustained healing, some speed buffs, which is going to be good for a Misty.
Yeah, speed buff is going to do a lot of damage. No defense break landed anywhere just yet, but this Megumi is not going to be liking those hits.
He's not going to be liking it, and Gapsu can't get the turn quick enough to really heal through as well right now. Huarang, you're hitting against the Josephine, but again, just little bits of chip.
A little bit of chip damage coming in the additional turn is going to be taking out this Megumi. So we say goodbye to one unit on the side of RAXXAZ. Not back yet on skills available, but we're going to be doing some good damage on that skill one.
We are. Gapsu, though, getting those cleanses through, going to start being able to provide a little bit more damage and healing on the side of RAXXAZ. Again, can the damage come out quick enough for RAXXAZ?
12k, that is good damage right there from that skill 2. That means that it's on a lot of HP on this unit. Also cycling out of that slow helps him out a fair bit, but provokes coming out from this Josephine. Big question, where do you land it? No, we're just simply gonna go for stuns, denying turns on this Huarang.
Wow, nearly taking out that Chandra as well right there. We always say it, confirm your kills if you can later on. Can a Huarang pop off for RAXXAZ right here? 4 versus 3.
Ooh, not that much damage. Very tanky on the side of the Shio, but defense break. Do you land it early? Defense break on the very first hit, and it's gonna take it out.
Wow, I mean, this is it, sick. Do you ever see a world where a Gapsu and a like Huarang could do this?
To be honest, not really. I think it's gonna be very difficult, because every time that the Gapsu was about to move, Gapsu's moving every time at like 130 or 140 attack bar, which is not really helping RAXXAZ at all, because every time that the Misty is about to move, sure, we see a cut-in over here. No, still not a cut-in. So the Gapsu is taking a lot of bar. It could potentially still work, but it's going to be hard, especially if you connect those stuns.
Yeah, again, the wrong time to get the stuns in right there if you're RAXXAZ. But he's going to be hitting through the shields. We're getting slowly. Misty.
Misty, oh, simply too much damage on the Misty, and we're gonna say goodbye to that Huarang, and that does also mean we're gonna say goodbye to RAXXAZ, because I don't see a Gapso winning against the Misty, but RAXXAZ is still gonna give it a try.
Yeah, we're here to give it a try right now, but I mean, Misty coming in with those hits. You're gonna get some more sustain. It's still those 3 units. It'd be really crazy to happen right here. Is he gonna put it out of his own misery, as TITOGOFLETTE looks like he could be securing his way into that round 3.
Yeah, so far it's not really working out for RAXXAZ. I was expecting the Gapso to provide more value, but in the end, the Misty was simply just doing too much damage taking out units.
TITOGOFLETTE then